Allah and changed it. What book of Allah was that?
Well, it could be, it's a general term. It could be the Torah, Psalms, and Injil, because according to the Quran, all those are previous revelations.
Yeah, no worries. Okay, so we can be.
Muslim debater tries to prove the gospel and Torah are corrupted. Basic English out. Welcome to an unbelievable debate clash you won't want to miss. In this fiery exchange, a Muslim debater attempts to prove that the gospel and Torah are corrupted, but things take an unexpected turn when basic reasoning and clear English get tossed out the window. Fire watch as godLOGIC exposes flawed arguments, tackles misconceptions head-on, and delivers powerful answers grounded in scripture and history. It's a must-watch showdown packed with intensity.
Christianity, man. We're defending Christianity.
Oh, actually, you know what? I want to just go over the last point the guy made in not the last one, the previous guy before that, about chapter 2, verse 79. Could you pull up the tafsir of Ibn Kathir?
Okay.
Woe unto those who write the scripture with their own hands. وَيَقُولُونَ هَذَا مِنْ عِنْدِ اللَّهِ. Yeah. So, yeah, altered the book of Allah, changed it, and wrote another book with their own hands. So what it's talking about is the Torah, the Psalms, and the Gospels. It says they took the book of Allah and they changed it and then wrote another book with their own hands. So what it's talking about is the Torah, Psalms, and the Injil. It's not talking about a totally different book. It's specifically saying they took the book of Allah, changed it, and made it into another book, meaning it's not in its original form.
Okay. So right here, where it talks about they changed it.
Correct.
And so they changed it. They altered the book of Allah and changed it. What book of Allah was that?
Well, it could be, it's a general term. It could be the Torah, Psalms, and Injil, because according to the Quran, all those are previous revelations.
Yeah, no worries. Okay, so we can basically say the Bible then.
Yeah, the thing is, I'm not quite sure, and again, I have to do my research on this. You know, I never speak on anything I don't know about. I don't know if how many books in the New Testament? 27, correct? So that means there's 23 letters.
Yeah.
So I don't know if that's not considered the Injil. The Injil is specifically the gospel, the life, the ministry of Jesus Christ. Okay. And that's what Matthew, Mark, Luke, and John recall or record.
Okay, so we'll say the book of Allah is the collection of specifically the gospel, the Psalms, and the Torah, the Old Testament.
Yeah, the Torah, Psalms, Injil. Torah, right. Psalms, gospel. Yeah. All
right, so they altered that and wrote another book. So what is now this other book that they wrote?
So it's another book, meaning it's not. It's an imposter of the Torah, because once you change one letter, one sentence, one paragraph, it's no longer the book of Allah, because now man has corrupted it with his own hands. So if you change just one sentence, this no longer is the book of Allah.
Oh, yeah, but this isn't talking about just one sentence. It says they wrote another book. So
yeah, again, as I said,
the book of Allah that they have here, the book of Allah is altered and changed, but they also wrote another book.
No, it's not. They also wrote another book. It's because they changed it. It became another book. That's
it doesn't say that. But
yes, it does. Changed it and wrote another book with their own hands. So they changed the book of Allah, and by doing that, they wrote another book with their own hands.
It doesn't say that, though.
Yes, it does.
No, it says and.
Yeah, and by doing that, thus.
It doesn't say and by doing that.
And thus, Avery, and thus mean the same thing.
No, it
changed it, thus wrote another book with their own hands.
That would be different. So this here,
listen, again, all of our disagreements are all interpretation. But this is understood by the Muslims.
Samurai, let me say this, bro.
What's up?
It says here the book of Allah was altered and changed, and they wrote another book with their own hands.
It doesn't say, and
so they
wrote
changed
another
the book of Allah, and so that's in addition, wrote another book with their own hands.
Avery, no. It says, people of book altered the book of Allah, changed it, thus making another book.
Okay. All right. So let's go here then.
Hold on one second. Come on. Just 1 second, my bad. I gotta go soon, so let's just wrap up.
It's all right.
All right.
So you added the word thus there, even though it doesn't say that.
I have to see what it says in the Arabic.
Ibn Abbas says,
well, thus and mean the same thing.
They don't.
Thus and.
So, thus means therefore, and does not mean therefore. It's not the same thing, bro. And
well, let me see. But even and thus both work. They both work to mean the same thing.
They could both work, but they bring two different meanings. That's the point. Correct. If you're going to say they changed and altered the book of Allah, thus writing another book with their own hands, then what you're saying makes sense. That they changed the book, or they wrote another book by changing the actual book of Allah. They changed the actual book of Allah, therefore writing another book, right? If you say and, then it's they changed the book of Allah, and in addition to changing that book,
but this is not saying they created another book, because then there's no book that is brought into. So
let's read this. Look, let's read this. So this is chapter 3, verse 78. Same as Ibn Kathir's Tafsir. He quotes Ibn Abbas again. Right?
So the book with their tongues.
So the book with their tongues means they alter them.
Alter Allah's words, yeah.
Now how? Al-Bukhari reported Ibn Abbas said that the ayah means they alter and add, although none among Allah's creation can remove the words of Allah from his books. So the books of Allah, the actual books themselves, can't be changed. So what does he say? How do they alter? How do they change?
It means, hold on, let me just read it. It means they alter and add, although none among Allah's creation can remove the words of Allah from his books. They alter and distort their apparent meanings. What happened in the Torah and Injil remain as Allah revealed, and no letter in them was removed. However, the people misguide others by addition and false interpretation. Right? Yeah, and it says there they add. Relying on books they wrote themselves.
So you see how the books that they write themselves are different from the Torah and the Injil.
Yeah, but it also says they add to it, misguide others by addition.
How? By addition and false interpretation, relying on books they wrote themselves. So it's not that the actual Torah and gospel are changed, but that they're misinterpreting the Torah and the gospel. And they're also writing books that they wrote themselves and relying on those.
Yeah, but again, this is Ibn Abbas's interpretation.
Yes, I know.
He's just one Sahabi. The Sahaba, as you know, they differed amongst many matters when it came to the Quran.
But Ibn Abbas, he's special. He's the ink of the ummah. He has the wisdom.
No, I know. But he could also be wrong. The only people who aren't wrong completely. Hold on, wait. Don't get too excited. The only two sources that authorities that cannot be corrupted or be wrong at any time is Allah and His Messenger. Everyone else there is fallible by their interpretation.
Gotcha.
So, for example, even if Ibn Abbas said something,
Sammer, here's the problem with that. Okay, because I'm with you on that. That all you would need is what the Quran says and what Muhammad says. But when we go through that and we look at that, you guys don't just stick to that. You guys have to go to what the scholars say and how they interpret things and yada yada yada.
Of course, yeah.
So like I'm like, okay. So
I would. Do you
see how Ibn Abbas?
I know, but I would say you would have to take the other companions' interpretations into consideration. But one of the however, the people misguide others by addition and false interpretation, relying on books that they wrote themselves. So what it's saying is they're adding into the Torah, they're adding into the Psalms, they're adding into the Gospels, and on top of that, they're relying on books they wrote themselves.
Dude, it literally just told you no one can remove any of the words from any
remove.
So they can't be changed, right?
They could add though.
No, how? Okay,
The
how
people
are they
misguide
adding?
others by addition and false interpretation.
How are they adding?
Okay, where it says relying on books that they wrote themselves, this is to false interpretation. It's saying it's addition and false interpretation. It's not just
How?
false interpretation.
How?
That's regarding the false interpretation.
It's
However,
regarding
the people misguide others.
It literally says this.
Avery, hold
The
on.
people misguide others by addition and false interpretation, relying on books that they wrote themselves.
Correct.
So where is the addition and false interpretation coming from?
No, you see, the
From
false
books they
interpretation.
wrote themselves.
Avery, the false interpretation, the relying on books that they wrote themselves is in reference to false interpretation. But the addition is talking about the books. They add to the books, and they also have false interpretation in which they rely on books they wrote themselves.
Okay.
So, I mean, that's the interpretation.
That's fine. I obviously we disagree there.
I know, but that's a good thing. We always could have a conversation.
Let me say this. I believe that the text is pretty plain and clear. So if you want to go against what Ibn Abbas says,
I'm not going against what Ibn Abbas.
You are. He says that.
Why is your interpretation more legitimate than mine?
The words. It's not my interpretation. It says none can remove his word.
You're reading the text one way, and I'm reading it another way.
Samir, you're cutting me off.
Oh, my bad. Go ahead.
It says none can remove the words from any of his books. It says that they distort their apparent meanings and interpretations. Mm-hmm. It says that the Torah and Injil remain as Allah revealed them. Mm-hmm. Does that mean that there has been an addition to these actual books?
He said none could remove, but they could add and misinterpret. And then they rely on books for misinterpretation.
I'll put up again.
Yeah, sure.
The Torah and Injil remain as Allah revealed them, right?
And no letter in them was removed. However, the people misguide others by addition and the false interpretation, relying on books they wrote themselves. So this is about false interpretation.
So in the Torah and Injil, do they remain as Allah revealed them? Yes or no?
There are words in there that are from Allah, but there's people. Then they add to it.
Got it. So. So they don't remain as Allah revealed them, correct?
No. So okay, let me break it down. There's the book of Allah, correct? In there is truth. But then there's people who add to the book of Allah. That's what it says. However, the people misguide others by addition.
So that means that it doesn't remain as Allah revealed them, right?
In terms of removing, not in terms of addition.
No. It says the Torah and Injil remain as Allah revealed them.
Correct.
So if they remain as Allah revealed them, then nothing was added in and nothing was taken out, correct?
No, because it says, and no letter in them was removed. However, people added.
Add how?
They added words to the book of Allah.
How?
What do you mean how? They are the misguide people others by addition. By addition.
All right, yeah, you know what? That's it, man. Because when you have,
I'm being honest, bro. I'm saying,
you're being dishonest with the text.
No.
This is pure dishonesty.
No, I'm saying, however, the people misguide others by addition and false interpretation. What is the false interpretation? Right here, relying on books that they wrote themselves.
Do they remain as Allah revealed them, or were they added to?
You have to read the whole thing in context. The Torah and Injil remain as Allah revealed them, and no letter in them was removed. But there's a however. There's a however.
My question is, can there be a remaining as Allah revealed them if they were added to?
Well, again, you have to continue reading. You can't just stop there. And no letter in them was removed.
I'm continuing with the tafsir. If it says that they remain as Allah revealed them, does that mean that something was taken away or added?
According to this tafsir, and no letter in them was removed. However, the people misguide others by addition. So he qualifies the statement.
Can you finish that?
And false interpretation, relying on books that they wrote themselves.
So where is the addition and false interpretation?
No. The people misguide others by addition, so they add to the book of Allah. So what it's saying is nothing could be removed. However, it doesn't say that nothing can be added.
All right.
So it says things are added, and they have a false interpretation with books that they wrote themselves. That's how it's to be understood.
All right. Well, that's it for me. I'm gonna go ahead and let the next guest up, man.
It was good talking to you, Avery.
Much. All right, take care, bro.
Yeah.
Yeah, guys. When it says that the Torah and Injil remain as Allah revealed them, it doesn't mean that it actually remains as Allah revealed them. It means that they've been added to. That's what it means. What can you do, man? What can you do? It doesn't matter what you show on the screen to our friends here. They're going to consistently be dishonest with their own texts. You know? Tough.
What a powerful and engaging debate. godLOGIC's points certainly raise some tough questions and expose critical flaws in the claims about the corruption of the gospel and Torah. But what do you think? Did the Muslim debater succeed in proving his case? Or did godLOGIC effectively shut it down? Drop your thoughts in the comments below. We want to hear your perspective. If you enjoyed the video, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe for more insightful debates and discussions. Thanks for tuning in, and we'll see you in the next video, where the truth always comes first.